Hey guys, can I just be real with you guys for a moment? I mean, I'm always real with you guys, but I just want to be real and authentic. And if you guys can be authentic with me, I think this video is really gonna show a lot of things that will resonate with you, and you will hear a lot of the struggles of what I had to go through to really figure out why I chose physical therapy. So we're just gonna rewind it several years back when I was 18 years old as a college dropout. Okay, so I'm 18 years old. I just graduated high school and I went to college as an athletic training major. And when I went into school, I was not really enjoying myself. Anybody feel like they're not enjoying yourself? Let me know. Comment below. I never enjoyed myself in my first year of college, but I didn't enjoy myself. But I was like, well, let me just work a little bit. So I was earning my first paycheck ever as an independent Asian male in college. And at the same time, I hated being in school. So I was like, I just don't like being here. I'm gonna make a bold move and I'm just gonna drop out of college. Now, those of you who don't know, I'm Korean, 100% Korean. And coming from a Korean or typically Asian families value college a lot. It brings a lot of honor. It brings a lot of honor to the family. It brings a lot of honor to the family. So me being a 100% Korean Asian that went to college and dropped out, you can imagine how much shame that brought to the family. Justin, I'm so disappointed in you. You bring dishonor on the family. And so when I moved back home, there was a lot of shame and guilt that I was feeling for being a college dropout in a Korean household. And so I was dealing with all of that. And I specifically remember I went back into the room that I left that I thought I would leave for quite some time. And I remember just laying on my bed thinking, what am I going to do with my life? Has anyone asked themselves that same question? Let me know. Put it in the comments below. Man, that's a tough question. And someone who was destined to go to college and dropped out, went the unconventional way and just was like, what am I gonna do for the rest of my life? I didn't know. And so, you know what? My parents were like, well, you still should go to school because school is good for you, there's only benefits for education. So I said, okay, I'm going in and out of different community colleges around Southern California, just trying to get by and, get free rent from parents and just make sure I please them. But at the same time, I was so lost. And those of you who are lost right now, just not really knowing what you want to do in your life, I just want to let you know that that's totally normal, okay? And I don't want you to feel this guilt like you should be knowing what you want to do in your life. If you're somewhere between let's say 18 to 25 years old and you don't know what you want to do in your life, that's okay. Don't feel pressured from parents or family or friends or whatever. Just do you and figure out what you want. Because that's what happened with me. And this is why I'm sharing my story. Because I figured out that I just need to put everything aside and just figure out what I want. And so at the time when I was maybe like 18, 19 years old, just went to college, dropped out, I was thinking about what I wanted, and I remember there was this siren that just went by, and just went right in front of me when I was sitting on the curve. And I just realized, I was like, wait, what if EMT? Like, what if I become an ambulance person? I don't know what it is, and at the time, right? But later I realized it was an EMT, emergency medical technician. So I was like, well, let me just try that out and see what that's all about. And so I worked as an EMT, and then the EMT went on, and then I was curious about, well, what if I want to work into fire? Because they work with firefighters pretty closely. And then so I was like, no, I really want to work with wildland fire. And so fire represent October, all right, make sure Cancer Awareness Month. But I really wanted to go into wildland fire. So I was like, I want to do that. And I was curious. And guess what? I went from 1 million population in LA County to 1,000 population in Pendleton, Oregon, or at least it felt like it. And I just really was curious what that was like to be in a new culture, a new state, from a lot of population to a little population. I just went for it, you know? And I did that as a wildland firefighter. I came back, and then I worked through Orange Theory Fitness, got hired through a corporate company for group fitness, and that was amazing. But I remember the one thing that stayed consistent with me throughout all of that, trying to figure out what I want to do with the rest of my life. And all of those things that I went through, I couldn't see that there was a end. I couldn't see it to completion. And so I was really like, I can't do this. Like, I need to see myself be in a profession or do something for the rest of my life that I can see to completion, where I can just do until I retire, where I can work and not feel like I'm actually working because it's so fun. And so I was still trying to figure that out, because EMT was not it. I knew that I couldn't sustain that. Firefighting was not it. Firefighting was not it, because I knew I couldn't sustain that. What if I got injured? I'm done. And the one thing that really stayed consistent from that whole journey, I'll never forget, is exercise. Woo! Okay, check this out, you guys. Exercise. I have been lifting weights. I touched my first weights. Well, it was a Bowflex at the time when I was 13 years old. I was so inspired by the commercial that I was like, I really want to get a Bowflex to start pumping some muscle.
You don't get in this kind of shape running on a treadmill. You do it with strength exercise, and I do it with a Bowflex. You're not going to believe how effective Bowflex is the first time you get on it.
So I, sweet talked my appa, my dad, and I was like, hey, appa, don't you want to get strong? Like, I'm trying to get strong. I'm trying to be a man. You got to teach me how to be a man and, help me gain some muscle. I think we should get that Bowflex. Pretty good convincer, wouldn't you say? So the next day, or actually that night, he ordered that Bowflex. And I remember I was lifting weights since I was 13 years old. I never missed a week since 13 on lifting weights consistently, week by week. Whether it's a Bowflex or exercise or home exercise, whatever it is, I was always exercising. And so that's when I realized, that's it. Exercise is something I really want to get into. And so that's when I realized that personal training was where I wanted to be. Guys, personal training. Okay, let me just tell you, I know this took a long time to build up to this point, but this is so important. Personal training, I told you, today was going to be all about authenticity, because this is just like where I am, and personal training has been everything for me. I love that I can build people up on the outside, right? But I could also build them up on the inside with their confidence and their self-esteem and also their muscles and their hypertrophy. Ooh, bars. What? Right? So I love that I can do that as a personal trainer or a fitness coach, and that I can do that forever. I can see myself doing that till completion. And I was like, I'm living a great life. I'm getting paid great. But there was one problem. I felt convicted. Because in personal training and fitness and coaching and whatever it is, there is always a group of people in that world that is always injured. And it just comes with the sport, or it just comes with the activity. It comes with injury, especially if you don't know how to live properly, and a lot of people don't. They just go into it, right? That's why a lot of people need a coach. So if you need a coach, let me know. Email me, liveforchange@gmail.com. I'll coach for you. Okay, that's a nice plug. Let's get back to it, all right? So you need a coach to lift properly, okay? But let's just say they got injured, and what could I do as a personal trainer or a fitness coach? I didn't know anything. So all I did was tell them, hey, you know what? Just rest, ice, and just don't do whatever hurts. That's it. That's it. That was my knowledge. That was the extent of my rehab knowledge when they got injured. I didn't know anything else after that. And then I just assumed life happened, and then they would just come back to me, right? But there was that big gap. And I was just like, wait. And there were so many people that I couldn't help. I felt convicted. I couldn't help these people that were so injured. And then I realized, wow, this is it. This is it. Physical therapy is the way to go to help these people that are injured, so that I can help them from being injured to normal, and then from normal to progressed as a personal trainer. So physical therapy to personal trainer. And that's when I realized, oh my goodness, this is exactly where I want to impact the world. And look, check this out. If I could just go from normal to better as a personal trainer or a fitness coach, I only get this much. But if I go from injured to normal to better, then I get the whole spectrum. And that means longer impact. That means more influence. That means that I can help them get better, in a better state physically, and just create that change to their life to get them to a higher place. And that's when I realized what my purpose was in life. And I really think that it was just really cool how I was able to really realize that this was something that I was really purposeful in doing in my life. And I just wanted to serve people and encourage them and empower them to elevate them to a place better than when they came in. That's what I felt like I should just live my life by. So when I worked as a personal trainer, or now when I work as a physical therapist, that's what I think. When I get a new client or a new patient, I think about, okay, they're coming in at this state. When they leave, I'm gonna get them to this state and better. Okay, that's my philosophy. But at that time, that's when I realized, okay, physical therapy is the way to go. And so that's when I realized that physical therapy was where I needed to get to in order to see the completion of what I wanted to do, which was serve people, right, through exercise, and empower them and encourage them to elevate them to a greater place in life. So personal training, physical therapy, personal training, put it all together, man, think about that impact, think about that influence, think about how much I could really be a part of somebody's life through that timeline. That's a long time. And yeah, man, that's just when I really realized that physical therapy was what I wanted to do. And all of that, I just wanted to be authentic in this video and just share with you everything that was so meaningful in my life and what led to being where I am today as a physical therapist, and then also being here with you guys through YouTube and all that. It's just really amazing. And it's just, this is why I want to be a physical therapist, and this is the truth behind why I want to become a physical therapist. It's that I can just impact greater, and I feel like this is where I want to serve. This is where I want to help, and I feel like there's a space and a need for this realm, and that's where I want to be. So if you're anywhere along that journey, whether you're injured and you need some rehab to get to normal, I can help you with that. If you're normal and you want some personal training to help your fitness go up and to lose weight, to look better, to get more fit, I can help you with that. Or if you're a student right now and you need help through the application process of physical therapy school, I can help you with that too. So if you have any questions, make sure you check out all the stuff in the link below or in the description below, and they'll show you everything. Sorry. But and if you have any questions or if you have any concerns specifically, you can always email me, liveforchange@gmail.com. Now, guys, if you are a pre-physical therapy student and you're kind of interested in PT school, but you're still not sure where you want to go and what you want to do, make sure you check out my course, because it teaches you everything you need to know to get into your dream school DPT school program. And it tells you where you should focus on and where you should just kind of not focus on so much, right? And it teaches you tips and strategies on every one of those aspects. And also, if you have any questions with just general questions, I encourage you to join the Facebook group, my new Facebook group, you guys. Oh, I'm so excited. It's called Levator Nation, and this group is just meant to just help anyone who's interested in PT school and just trying to elevate their life in different areas like finances, relationships, right? Your study habits, your time management, all of that. I just want to help you perform better. So join the group. I go live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which, So make sure you join me for the live. I could always answer your questions if you have specifics. And I'll see you guys there. If you have any questions, please comment below. And thank you so much for watching this video to completion. I feel like I shared a lot of my life, and yeah, well, that's me. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate all of you, and this meant a lot to have this moment to share with all of you why I really chose physical therapy.